What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about news crypto. This one's for you, user 465. You're the one that requested it. 465, user 465. We're doing this one for you, man. Looking at this thing, if I remember correctly, I think last time I said I didn't like it. I'm not 100% sure. And not that I don't like the project. I'm sure that it could do great things. I'm sure that it might go above this high in its next bull cycle, the current bull cycle that we're in. But I think just looking at it, off of a first base, it kind of looks like it might want to break these lows. I don't remember if I said that in the last video. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I can we'll just kind of go through and do the TA here and start fresh. So looking at this on the weekly, man, actually very constructive RSI. Very, very constructive RSI, it looks. Actually, you got higher lows here. It's pretty nice to see. Bouncing off of the bearish area of control as well. It just depends, man, because it can look bullish like this, but if Bitcoin shits, this could go with it for sure, and you could see new lows based on all this. If we're taking this from top to or bottom to top, I'm sorry, yeah. See, I think this is where I might have started my video last time saying the same stuff, and then looking at it like this. We went down to the 618, found support off it, broke below it, now we're finding resistance. I would think that if we don't at least go to the 886, we're probably going to go to this 1272. If not somewhere in between, like maybe form a double bottom or a slightly lower low, something like that. I don't like this look on the fib scale. The RSI, I have to say, is kind of nice looking. It looks almost like this parabolic kind of look, but it's hard to say, man. It really is hard to say. You've got, it would be nice if you just continued this move upward, but you have found these little double stints and then moved up afterwards. So this could be just like this time, just like this time, just like this time. Arguably, this is a stint and then that's a stint. Just like every other time, this could be the mark that takes us up higher. And maybe not higher than this high, but higher nonetheless. And with the way that it looks like it likes to move, it definitely could do some good things. It could at least move back to the 236 area. Hard to say. Hard to say. Anyways, let's see. Let's look on the daily here. Looking at the daily on the RSI, neutral, definitely neutral. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it. It doesn't look too bullish. It looks more bearish than bullish, but you do have higher lows for the time being and higher highs, kind of, right? It doesn't look too bad. You are below the purple line. On the long-term RSI, you are below the 50. So any move up here, I think, would get rejected. That's just my automatic kind of assumption. Let's see. But on the daily, as far as the RSI goes, man, you could go lower, you could go higher. It's really hard to say. This is a pretty... I don't know if I had this hard of a time last time or not, but it's definitely, I'm kind of inclined to believe that it does go lower, because all you've done so far is, yes, you have a higher low here after this low, but really what you have is just lower highs. After lower highs, you're still forming lower highs, So I think that you will take this low out. I think that you will take this low out, and where that will take you ultimately from this low to this high, if we go there, that could take you down to about 4.53, maybe to 3.92 cents, somewhere in there. And if you were to take out this low, then I would expect, is that the low? Is that the same low? Let's see. That's all the way back in March, Friday the 10th. March, February the 27th. So maybe that's the 10th there. Right, yeah, this week is when it would be. Okay, so it would be this bottom, so that is the low. If you do get below this this low here, I would expect that you are going to see the minimum extension move, which would take you, man, the 1272 right there, or yeah, the 1272 is at 2.75 cents. It kind of is right in between the 2414 and the 2618. You could, do something where you bounce off of the 1272, come back up and close above the 2414 there, and then move up from there. Again, these are two different fibs. You can see where these lines are. This is the more major fib. This is the smaller fib that I have drawn so far, right? From bottom to top here for this fib, bottom to top here, and then for this one, it's this bottom to top. Both of them kind of projecting price to the downside, and I would say both of them do look a little bit bearish at the moment. I want to see real quick. You are above the 618, which is nice to see. You did bounce off the 786, but rejecting this 236 and now rejecting the 382, both fib scales, they both look bad. As long as you're above the 618, things aren't totally bad. And if you really, as long as you hold this 886, again, things wouldn't be totally bad either. But I'm kind of under the impression that you would see these extensions, and I'm afraid that if you see these deeper extensions down to the 1618 or deeper, then that would definitely suggest. I mean, yeah, basically, if you break the 1414, maybe you double bottom at the 1414. It's hard to say, man. At this point in time, just with the way that price is acting, where you have these two peaks like this and you kind of have a flat base, it's not the prettiest looking thing, is it? But I would think that you do want to go lower than this low here. You have rising volume on a new high, but it's a lower high on a closing basis. Hard to say. It's definitely not an easy chart to read, that's for sure. Very, very big candle here to top it off. A lot of volume. Hard to say, man. It really is hard to say. I feel comfortable at least saying that we'll go lower from here. How much lower, though, that's really the question, isn't it? You know, we could go all the way down. I wonder, I forget if I did this in my last one, but from that there, from bottom to top, the 1272 is right there, man. It's right there. It like literally smack dab right there. I bet you do go down there. That would be my expectation at the moment. That's, you know, if you can't hold this area about 4.20, if you can't hold 4.20 cents, you will likely see 2.75, 2.76 cents, if not lower, potentially lower. You could find support on this previous area where you found like support here, and that's in between the 1414 and the 1618. You could even wick through that, come back up and close above it. This is on the monthly time frame after all. Let's look at the weekly and just see if there's anything else significant. Come on, TradingView, stop hitting me. Dang it. I have my brush on. Let's see. I mean, that middle line looks good right there. Man, that middle line really does look good. I wonder, is this like the mid? Not quite, is it? I don't know. That white line, that's right where the 1272 is, yeah. That to me looks good, man. I think it does want to go lower. I definitely do. I think it's hard to navigate. It's hard to say, so don't hold me to that. There's not enough data to go off of, but you could see a 50 to 60% drop in the coming weeks, months, more likely. Maybe by the end of the year, maybe sometime next year, but I do think it goes lower. Now, how high can it go? Let's stop being morbid and give this thing a little bit of hope. How high can it go? You know, from top here to bottom, if this is the low, if it doesn't go lower, if we by some miracle form a double bottom and then go up from there, if this is low, man, look at that. You even rejected the 382. This to me just all in all screams continuation to the downside. And the way you would measure that, again, it would be from this bottom to this top. That would be right there, man. It would make sense to me. But if you can pull a double bottom off of this, you know, the next thing that you'd have to do before even thinking about all-time highs is you'd have to break above this 382, which is right there at 19.1 cents. 19.2 cents, actually. I can see it over here. 19.28. Break above that on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, whatever, some kind of significant time frame. And then from there, you're probably golden up until the golden zone, which is this 49 cent to 65.7 cent area, somewhere in that range. And depending on your reaction with that, you know, you could go up, reject it back down to the 382, and then go up from there. You could just blast straight through it and then come down and find support on it. That would be nice to see. Something like that would be the preferred kind of idea, but it depends, man. You have a long way to go before that. And if you can do that, then, you know, you will likely see your all-time highs and beyond that. From the current price to your all-time highs, that's a 36.4x. To the 1272 extension, the minimum extension, that would be a 108x, almost a 109x actually. And then to the 1618, you're talking about like 417, 420x. You know, that is possible, I think, with this coin, because if I remember correctly, it is a low cap coin. Yeah, number 898. $10.5 million market cap, a 100x, a multi-100x is definitely possible with this thing. But being that it is such a low volume crypto, if the rest of the market dumps, this thing could be very susceptible to a massive drop. It really could. This previous month here we dropped 29%, the month preceding that 11%, and then the month preceding that 26%. In 1 month we moved up 99% with a pretty big wick to the upside and down. This thing is not afraid to move big to the downside or to the upside. Though it does look more bullish than bearish on this overall monthly time frame. And the beauty of it all is, if you form this low here to this high, you go to the 1272, it's still an overall higher low. So that wouldn't be totally detrimental to this chart, but there's not enough data to really go off of, and it's not uncommon to find support at previous areas of resistance. It really is not. So hard to say, but that's what I got for you. Don't hold me to it, but to the best of my abilities, I would say that this floor here, this base does give out, and your next area of support would be here, or somewhere in between. That's the best I got. So I do think this thing is going to go below 3 cents. I don't really know if it goes too much lower than that. Maybe 2.8 cents, maybe just a little bit lower than that, but not too much lower than that. It could go all the way down here, but that's not my expectation right now. And I definitely would not expect that we break this high before breaking that low. And once we break that low, break it convincingly, we likely will come all the way down here, likely. But we could. There's still hope that you could double bottom. So pay attention to that too. Pay attention to the what area is that? That's the 420 area. That's right, 420. If you can bounce off of 420, then you're good. You're golden. And I wonder, is there anything else in that area back here? Not really, is there? Kind of got the weekly close here. You could go a little bit lower. That's okay. And even if you do, just be aware, even if you do go lower than this low here, that doesn't mean it's over. Just like you went higher than this high over here, but it wasn't over, was it? Now that doesn't mean you're clear and you're going all the way up. That it actually gave you a pretty big reversal. So you could have a little bit of a fake out to the downside and then have the same kind of move back up. Something like that really could happen. But I do think once you break this low, you likely will go to around, what was it? It was like 2.8, 2.7 cents, somewhere in that range, if not lower. So I'm just repeating myself. And with that, if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. And I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.